Another night, trying not to think again. Every time the silence hits, the thoughts come back in waves. Black face on your heads, like the darkness never leaves. Try to hold yourself together with plastic war machines. Black face on your heads, rain running down the glass, sliding through Salem at midnight, trying to outrun the past. Sinking through the corridor, red lights blur across the street. Every song turned all the way up, just to drown out everything underneath. And the city looks corrupted, neon glowing through the storm, like the whole world slowly breaking, trying hard to still look normal. Then I swear I see reflections of myself inside the mask. Every pain and scar and battle mark feels a little too attached. Planet, black sky, long nights, no sleep, loud noise, cold rain, bad thoughts return again. Maybe that's why we build these worlds, because the real one gets too loud. Maybe pretending to be monsters feels better than feeling powerless now. Black paint on your heads, and the music shaking bones, trying to escape yourself on the drive back home. Black paint on your heads, but the color never fades, 'cause some things follow you forever, like the thoughts you cannot escape. Black paint on your hands, still there when the rain stops. Please wait. One monitor light, whole room dark, rain hitting hard outside the apartment. Discord glow, friends all gray, last online years ago. And I keep reinstalling old games, like maybe this time it'll feel the same. Same menu screen, same soundtrack, same login music in my headphones. But something's wrong now. Maybe it wasn't the game, maybe it was who we were back then. Integrity check fails, try again, try again. Same old name, same old game, but nothing hits the same. Integrity check failed, all the files still corrupted. I keep trying to patch things that don't exist anymore. You remember when we'd stay up all night, headsets on till sunrise, screaming through cheap microphones like life was somewhere else entirely. Now everybody works too much or disappeared without a word, and every friend list feels like graveyards, still frozen where they last logged off. And I swear for a second, when the startup music hits, I can almost feel it again. And the lobby loads empty. Check files, clear cache, restart, come back, check hard, no fix. Signal lost, disconnect. Maybe nothing actually broke, maybe people just grow apart. But why does it feel like morning every time I boot this shit back up? Integrity check failed, and the screen light cuts through the dark. Driving home at 2 a.m., old sun shaking through the car. Integrity check failed, but I still keep logging in, 'cause some part of me still misses who I used to be back then. Please wait, attempting repair. Friends list loading. Blue light on the ceiling, rain against the glass, old desktop humming softly like it's trapped inside the past. Discord opens automatically, same server still pinned. Half the names are gone completely, the rest haven't logged in since. And I know I should uninstall this, clear the drive and let it die. But some nights I still come back here just to see who's still alive. One green dot would probably break me now. Last player online, waiting in a dead lobby. Everybody left years ago. voice chat headset pressed against your face. Waking up to somebody laughing like the world was still okay. Now every conversation feels shorter. Everybody disappears too fast. Real life buried all the old versions of the people we thought would last. And the menu music still hits different. Late at night with no lights on, like a ghost of another lifetime, still trying to call us home. Maybe growing up is just learning how to lose things quietly. Right outside, blow like pain. One more login, one more try. Last player I still know the passwords, still remember every map. Funny how memory survives long after the people don't come back. Last player online, and the screen light fills the room. Driving through soon after midnight, with those old songs turned up to last player online. Still searching through digital graves, 'cause some part of me never left those late night voice chat days. Friends list disconnected. Retry. There's a line glowing on the dashboard. Engine shaking through the floor. Concrete walls and sodium lighting, blurring past at 75. Windows cracked to let the cold in, trying hard to feel alive. Street signs vanish in the rear view. Tunnel noise inside my chest. Every time the tires start singing, the noise inside my head gets less. I don't know what I'm outrunning anymore. I just know I can't sit still tonight. Redline Halo, city lights below. Every time the engine screams, the static in my head goes quiet. Redline Halo, neon bleeding through the glass. For a few more miles, I don't have to think about the past. Overpasses, overhead shaking. Headlights streak across the rain. Dashboard glowing deep crimson, like a pulse inside the frame. And the bass hits harder at midnight. Empty freeway stretching wide. Funny how the world feels silence just hurts worse. Some people learn to stay still. I just keep chasing that feeling, like maybe one day I Redline Halo, taillights burning through the dark. Every exit starts to look the same when you're driving just to outrun your home. Redline Halo, and the whole city starts to glow. For a little while, the world gets quiet below. Engine cooling in the dark. The coils burned again. Nobody's saying much tonight. Bartender stacking chairs too early. Neon signs still buzzing low. Couple strangers staring at televisions like they're scared to just go home. And I've been sitting here too long now, glass sweating circles in my hands, trying to drink enough to quiet everything I don't understand. Streetlight glow against the window, reflections staring back at me, looking like somebody slowly turning into who they swore they'd never be. Last call came and went, but I still couldn't make myself leave. Fluorescent Saints, keeping people alive, half broken, half exhausted, just trying to survive the night. Fluorescent Saints, cheap lights against the glass. Some people save your life without ever knowing that. Door swings open cold behind me, and there you are across the room, still wearing that old black jacket, like you knew exactly where I'd be. No big speech, no asking questions, just come on man, let's get out of here. Like 100 times already. Like disappearing was my worst habit this year. And for a second everything softens. The noise finally goes quiet inside my chest. Maybe nobody survives this life alone, no matter how hard they try to. Last call, neon glow, empty glass, don't go home. Head down, tired of, somehow we survive. I think some places become sacred, not because they're beautiful, but because somebody reached for you there before you disappeared completely. Fluorescent Saints, holding back the darkness. Everybody here's been losing something they don't know how to talk about. Fluorescent Saints, street lights through the windows for a little while. The whole world feels less cold. The whole world feels less cold. The coffee tastes burnt again. Another screen lights up the room. Another voice talking over another voice. Television running in the background, phone vibrating against the sink, advertising between conversations. Nobody even stops to think. Self-checkout machine keeps screaming, airport speakers overhead. Everybody scrolling through disasters while pretending not to be dead. And every room feels overstimulated. Every silence gets replaced. I don't even hear my own thoughts anymore. Just pressure filling up the space. Too many signals crossing wires. Too much noise to separate. Signal lost. Somebody turn the noise off. I can't hear myself think over everybody talking. Signal lost. Static burning through my head. Everything's so loud now. I don't know who I am again. Waiting room, fluorescent lighting, new station glowing on the wall. Somebody arguing through Bluetooth speakers, nobody listening at all. Notifications stacking endlessly, bright white glow against my face. Everybody wants your attention till there's nothing left to give away. And maybe that's the strangest part now, how quickly overload feels normal. Like we're all adapting think people disappear in pieces now. Not all at once, just slowly. Enough, nobody notices until they're gone. Signal lost, everybody's talking at once. I keep turning up the music just to feel something human again. Signal lost, static pulsing through the walls. Somewhere underneath the noise, I'm still trying to find myself. Connection unstable. The room sounds different after people leave. Monitor glow against the ceiling fan spinning slow. Headset resting on the desk now, still tangled where I dropped it hours ago. And it's strange how fast the silence hits after laughing for so long. Like your brain forgets the difference between distraction and belonging. TV flickering with the sound of half-empty drink beside the chair. Clothes thrown somewhere on the floor, still like somebody else should still be here. I keep catching myself waiting for another voice. Voice channel empty, static in the quiet. Everybody logged off hours ago, but the room still feels alive. Voice channel empty, headset light still glowing. Somehow the silence hits harder than the noise ever did. Funny how connection changes once the talking finally stops. How easy it is to avoid yourself when somebody else's voice fills up the dark. And maybe that's why people stay awake long after they're tired enough to sleep. Not scared of being alone exactly, just scared of what shows up underneath. No notifications, no music playing, just the apartment breathing softly in the dark. I think part of growing older is learning how loud silence really is. Voice channel empty, and the whole room feels different, like something left the air when everybody disconnected. Voice channel empty, monitor light against the wall. For a minute there, I didn't feel alone at all. The room sounds different after people leave. Monitor clock against the ceiling fan spinning slow. Headset resting on the desk now, still tangled where I dropped it hours ago. And it's strange how fast the silence hits after laughing for so long. Like your brain forgets the difference between distraction and belonging. TV flickering with the sound of half-empty drink beside the chair. Clothes thrown somewhere on the floor still, like somebody else should still be here. I keep catching myself waiting for another voice. I keep catching changes once the talking finally stops. How easy it is to avoid yourself when somebody else's voice fills up the dark. And maybe that's why people stay awake long after they're tired enough to sleep. Not scared of being alone exactly, just scared of what shows up underneath. No notifications, no music playing, just the apartment breathing softly. Learning how loud silence really is. I think part of growing older is learning how loud silence really is. I don't think distraction works like it used to. The music still gets loud sometimes, but it doesn't drown things out. The silence just waits underneath it till the song finally burns itself down. And I still feel empty hours with glowing screens and noise, like movement somehow changes the things you're trying to avoid. But every room gets quiet eventually. Every conversation ends, and somewhere underneath all of it, you still have to face yourself again. I think I've spent years Trying not to sit still long enough to think. Dead signals, nothing left to drown it out. Just me and everything I tried to avoid. Dead signals, static fading into quiet. I don't think I was running toward anything, just away from myself the whole time. Funny how survival starts changing once you're not constantly in motion. How easy it is to mistake distraction for healing something broken. And maybe that's why exhaustion feels heavier when things calm down. 'Cause suddenly there's space enough to hear your real thoughts moving around. No giant revelation waiting, no dramatic ending scene. Just slowly learning who you are without noise covering everything. Maybe being alive means carrying things quietly sometimes. I used to think numbness was peace. Now I think it was just distance. Dead signals, everything finally went quiet, and I could hear myself again for the first time in years. Dead signals, no more running from the silence, just breathing in the static and learning how to live with it. I don't think distraction works like it used to. Morning air through the open windows. First time I've breathed right in weeks. Coffee cups and tired reflections, sunlight breaking through the blinds. Whole apartment feels unfamiliar without all the noise inside. And the silence doesn't scare me like it used to anymore. Now it just feels like space enough to finally hear myself think for once. Streetlights shutting down one by one, storefront signs all fading pale. Everything looks softer somehow after surviving your own head. Maybe healing isn't fixing anything. Maybe it's just learning what to carry. Afterglow static, still humming in my chest. But for the first time in forever, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it. myself. I never noticed I survived. Some scars don't disappear, they just stop feeling like open wounds. Afterglow static, morning light across the floor, and for a minute everything feels quiet without feeling empty anymore. Afterglow static, last of the signal fading out. I think I'm finally learning what it means to live with myself now. Morning air through the open windows. All these years later, the memories still hum like fluorescent lights. Old songs buried inside playlists, still hitting harder than they should. Tiny pieces of who we used to be, preserved inside forgotten rooms. Card tables, headsets, engine noise, coffee stains, late conversations, half-healed scars. All of it still lives somewhere. And maybe that's what growing older is. Learning your past never really disappears. It just changes shape and follows quietly beside you. We spent so long trying to outrun ourselves. We never realized we were carrying each other the whole time. All these years still glowing, every broken signal in our hearts. Neon red, Reliquary, like static on beneath the dark. Maybe we were never trying to escape life. Maybe we were just trying to survive it. Every exhausted conversation, every empty parking lot, every moment somebody stayed alive because another person reached for them. All the noise, the silence, the overload, the memories, none of it was meaningless. Even the nights that hurt the most still became part of the light somehow. And I think that's the strangest thing, how people keep carrying each other forward without even knowing it. Some memories fade, some scars stay forever, but both still prove we were here. I don't think healing means forgetting. I think it means learning how to hold everything without letting it destroy you. The memories still hum.